Local AI video is finally possible at home, but choose the wrong setup and you can lose hours before you get one usable shot.
The hard part is not generating local AI video. The hard part is choosing the right setup before you waste hours on the wrong path. LTX 2.3 v1.1 is interesting because the distilled version finally feels practical, fast enough to test ideas, and good enough to create real shots. But the low VRAM choice is not as obvious as it looks. So in this video, you'll see the actual video quality, real tests with good-looking generated clips, what changes across different GPU generations, and the free workflow you can use as a starting point. By the end, you'll have a much clearer idea of which setup fits your machine. This is the part most people miss. The full LTX model is not the one you want to test every idea with. It is heavier, slower, and better when you need control. But the distilled version is different. 8 steps, CFG1, fast iterations. So instead of waiting forever on every bad idea, you can quickly find the shot that is actually worth finishing. If this was useful, subscribe. More model battles are coming. This is LTX 2.3 v1.1. The real question is not only how good it looks, it is which path you should use. Here we are not comparing random generation. Same first frame, same prompt, same I2V path. Q3 is the compressed draft path. MXFP8 block 32 is the cleaner final quality path. This is not just a file size difference. Q3 compresses harder to cross the memory wall, so it is useful for drafts, short tests, and seed hunting. MXFP8 block 32 keeps more structure through small 32-element blocks, so it often works better as the cleaner final quality path. And this is the important part. Q3 is not useless. For short tests and seed hunting, it can be surprisingly usable. But when the shot is worth finishing, MXFP8 block 32 usually gives me the cleaner structure to polish and publish. Now the low VRAM stress test, capped 8GB style, 512 by 288, 3 seconds, I2V only, no spatial, no RTX. Cold start hurt. Q3 took 418 seconds and spilled 30 gigabytes into RAM. MXFP8 took 202 seconds with a 32 gigabyte spill. Warm runs changed the story. Once loaded, both were around 42 seconds. So this is not clean 8 gigabytes comfort. Short, clipped workflows are possible if you manage cold load, offload, and warm sessions. On RTX 30, Q3 or Q4 is usually the smarter fallback. There is no native FP8 speedup, so MX FP8 may not feel much faster. But on RTX 40 and RTX 50, the answer changes. MX FP8 can use FP8 acceleration, and that can turn short video generation from painfully slow into something much closer to real time. So the real answer is not Q3 versus MXFP8 as a simple winner. It is draft path versus final path. Q3 helps you explore more ideas when memory is the wall. MXFP8 block 32 is where you go when the shot matters and you want cleaner structure. For low VRAM, think short clips, warm sessions, and fallbacks. For final renders, spend the heavy path only on the winner.
One spark. That is all that stands between me and the dark.
RTX 30 still works for real production. In our capped 8GB style test, MXFP8 won the cold start, 202 seconds versus 418 for Q3. Once warm, both landed around 42 seconds. So RTX 30 is a real fallback path, just not where MXFP8 gets its clearest acceleration. RTX 40 is where the story changes. With FP8 support and sage attention, MXFP8 becomes much more practical for selected final shots. RTX 50 is where MXFP8 makes the most sense. With native FP8 and microscaling, it becomes the strongest accelerated path. So the rule is simple. RTX 30 still works. RTX 40 makes MXFP8 practical. RTX 50 is where the accelerated path really shines. That is why the same model can feel like a completely different tool. So my current choice is simple. Even on my RTX 3090, I would still use the LTX 2.3 v1.1 distilled MXFP8 path for most of this work. Not because it is the only correct version, but because I like the balance. The image quality is strong, the speed is practical, and the workflow feels usable. The setup can even work in an 8 GB style environment for short controlled clips. But that does not mean it is comfortable magic. More VRAM simply means more of the model stays on the GPU. So longer clips, higher resolution, heavier settings, and fewer offload problems become easier and faster. I'll leave the free workflow below. You can use it as a clean starting point for making your own local AI videos. It follows the full creative path, from the scene idea to the first frame, the prompt, the clip generation, then picking the best take, refining it, and finishing the final video. If you want to start building your own shots, this is the easiest place to begin. Link is in the description. If you want to save setup time, you can join the premium group. There you get the one-click auto installer for this model, plus installers and workflow packs for other tools like WAN 2.2, Flux, and more. I'm also adding Viper Film Builder. Through Comfy UI, it turns prepared keyframes into a local AI short film with logs, review files, timings, and resume support. Link is in the description. If this was useful, subscribe. More model battles are coming.